The adverse weather alert is still in effect across Trinidad and Tobago. It won't expire until Tuesday at 2 p.m. But all while the risk of a flash flooding as well as gusty winds and those landslides remains a threat as we go overnight and into Tuesday morning. Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service will basically keep this going until Tuesday afternoon, which means that what you should be doing is monitoring the potential impacts of the possibility of a flash flooding as well as landslides in your area. So obviously also monitor the TV, radio and the web as you go through the next few days, particularly for those official bulletins coming out of the Disaster Management ODPM as well as parts of the Meteorological Service. In terms of the rainfall, we have been seeing obviously 60 odd millimeters of rainfall up to 2 p.m. this afternoon, which takes the total to 130 for the month of August. Notice August at 264 is what we usually expect for the whole month, and August is the wettest month of the year in Trinidad. So obviously we still have a few weeks to go, and we'll be possibly adding to that as you go through the next few days and then into the next few weeks. You can see here all over the heavy showers that started in southern areas of Trinidad through Pinal down towards Rio Claro and then pushing up towards the north with Port of Spain. Those are white intense colors there, signifying where we saw all of those heavier bursts. It was all courtesy of the intertropical convergence zone as well as a trough lying across the island chain, and that is gradually moving out towards the Eastern Caribbean, but it will continue to leave moisture overnight into the first part of Tuesday, and then conditions change quite drastically on Wednesday and Thursday. A lot more sunshine to come there. Now further towards the Atlantic, there are no systems that are set to develop, but we are still continue to watch all of those little pockets of moisture coming through. But in terms of those heavier showers, we'll get a break from the rainfall until possibly Friday and Saturday. So looking at Tobago, continues to be rainy, spells of showers, cloudy conditions through overnight, possibility of a heavy shower as well that could turn thundery, and in those thunder showers you could be seeing some gusty winds. So all the while be mindful as you go through your Tuesday morning and into the afternoon. Similarly for Trinidad, for those areas which did suffer the flash flooding, still showers are expected overnight into the first part of your morning. There's a possibility of some of those turning heavy and thundery, especially along the northern range through Blanchisseuse into Diego Martin, around Piarco, all along the east-west corridor. You notice the water will continue to be flowing off the hillsides and down into the tributaries and then into the rivers. So all the while you will begin to see some of the water levels rising and falling as you go through the day. So still be mindful that even though it's not raining where you are, the possibility of flash flooding does exist. Temperature-wise, looking at a cool 23 degrees Celsius tonight and a comfortable 29 degrees Celsius tomorrow for Trinidad, 30 in Tobago, but it will rise to 32 and a hot 32 at that on Wednesday and Thursday across Tobago. Possibility of some Saharan dust as well working its way through midweek, and then on a Friday more showers are expected, possibility of some of those thundery ones as well for Trinidad, and you notice a few of those rainfall continuing into Saturday. For those heading offshore on a Tuesday, you'll notice the moderate easterly winds of 15 knots, but in those offshore thunder showers you could be seeing a 25-30 knots at times, so be careful about that. A slight chop generally 1.5 meters to 2 meters further out in the Atlantic with east-northeasterly swells of 8 seconds. And you've only got one low tide tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. and next one at 6:30 p.m. is your afternoon high tide. In terms of those of you heading offshore, for first rest of the Eastern Caribbean, we will be seeing that rainfall coming into Grenada. In fact, Grenada for the most part is under a flash flood warning, but for the Greater Antilles it's mostly settled here. Just a brief shower, if something coming through on Kingston with 33 degrees Celsius there, and a few morning showers for Havana. But for Eastern Caribbean, it's mostly sunny, mostly settled for the most part all the way from the Leeward Islands. But once you get into St. Vincent, this is where we will begin to see some of the cloudiness, and then for St. George's and the rest of Grenada, they are under a flood warning, and they'll be watching those heavy showers that came by us today to bring them some of the same as they go through tonight and early on Tuesday. So that's your weather, and that's it from me.